Alrighty, and welcome back. Welcome back, everybody, to the Crypto Report. It is Monday, and yes, I had a busy morning. Normally, we're doing these live streams at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time every weekday, Monday through Friday. But today, I had a little morning meeting I had to take care of, and we're still live, guys. Welcome back. Do me a favor, tap the like button, subscribe to the channel. Over the last 24 hours, we have had some pretty crazy moves in the crypto market. We've had a lot of longs get wiped out as Bitcoin dipped down to a level I've been discussing for weeks now, $110,000, a very logical level for Bitcoin to be retesting. Not surprised. And Ethereum, oh boy, guys, I just got to share this with you. This is, you're going to be like, whoa, look at this level this guy called. I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing here I say or do is financial advice. You have to do your own digging in these markets, my friends. But look at something right here. First off, crypto markets. Bitcoin's down today. ETH is, oh, this is not actually real price action. Let's get this fresh. Boom. There we go. Hold up. One sec. I got to fix something. I'm sorry about this, guys. Give me 1 second here. Okay, here we go. So Bitcoin is down to 111 right now, down 2%. Ethereum is down 8%, almost 9% on the day. Now, we did discuss a couple things here. One, Bitcoin dominance, potentially finding a bounce at 57%. Well, maybe we bounced before it. I still think we could easily come down to this 57% zone. But this could be that little recovery moment for Bitcoin dominance, potentially. Here's why. Look at Ethereum. This is something I've been just screaming from a rooftop over the last few weeks, is that there are some significant wicks that have rejected off of a key level that I have drawn at 47.94, okay? 47.94 for ETH. And what we had was the weekly candle for last week, okay? This closed yesterday. Ended where? Exactly at that level. The wick took a new high, but in the weekly candle, what we needed to see was a breakout. But instead, we saw a weekly candle close below it, below the level. Actually, a little bit below the level, which says this is a potential rejection. And then this candle we have today is showing us that very thing, that Ethereum just rejected off of its previous all-time high. I told you so. I told you so. I told you so. This is how I felt about it. This made sense to me. We had a little bit of excitement on the Fed cuts coming. You had a lot of buy the rumor. Now that is priced in, now we've just found a psychological level of resistance for ETH, which is its previous high. And on top of that, you also have September coming up, which is a historically red month for Bitcoin and crypto and ETH. Let's go right to this one. I saw this very interesting graphic. Shout out to the comment section, by the way. Shout out to all you guys out there. Rostanova in the chat. How you doing? Rostanova says, hey, Kip, I think the correction is for taking liquidity before it explodes. It's time to buy, says Rostanova. You know, this is a liquidity grab, but I do want to show you guys a few things here. There's always liquidity grabs, brother. But this is another one, no doubt. Let's talk a little bit about what's going on here. James, how's it going? Pepe in the chat, BSS and John and Daryl, legends, all of you. Cryptos Are Us pointed something out that I want to talk about here, which is Ethereum, okay, and its historic price action. Sorry, guys. Getting my tech right here. Having a bunch of tech issues today. Ethereum is having its fourth best August ever with 24.9% return so far. This was posted when? Today. With 24.9% return so far. Only 2016, 2020, and 2021 posted stronger gains, but with experts like Tom Lee calling for an ETH Nixon rally, there's a chance prices could go even higher before month's end. This is something that we've also acknowledged that there could be some highs, but what I want to focus in on is two things. One, I told you guys we might find resistance here, and we absolutely did. Okay. Absolutely found resistance. I was, like Daryl says in the chat, I was screaming it from a rooftop. I have been talking about this relentlessly. I was actually talking about it while I was in a lake as well. Literally swimming in a lake. And I did that on video. And now here we are. We're seeing this little dip down. This is what I want to talk about. Is, yes, we're looking at the snapshot of the very green thing that is these green August, and it's very great to be able to acknowledge, look at these wonderful August months and how green they are. But what do we also notice about this? Anybody out there paying attention to what I'm seeing? You have a 35% gain in 2021 in August for ETH. What happened in September of 2021? It came down 12%. In 2020, 25% gain to the upside. What happened in September of 2020? It came down 17%. What happened in 2017 when it went up 92%? Ooh, came down 21%. So that is all three of the best months historically for ETH were followed by red months, big red months. Okay. I am not trying to rain on anybody's parade here. I'm a crypto bull. You should know this by now. I'm very bullish on crypto, have been for a very long time. I'm bullish on Ethereum too, but I am bearish on September. And I was bearish on it last September. I was wrong by 3.5%. I was bearish on it in September 2023. That was a little boost there. I was wrong those two. But historically, we have had these very red Septembers. This is Ethereum that we're looking at right here. The Ethereum monthly returns. That is what Cryptos R Us posted on their X account. But what we're talking about, what others kind of aren't talking about right now, is the September sell-offs that we've seen historically. Instead, what we have going on is craziness like this. This is crazy. The president's crypto advisor, David Bailey, says there is not going to be another Bitcoin bear market for several years. Now, some people are coming out and saying he said there's never going to be another bear market. That's not exactly what he said. He said for several years. He's saying that the 4-year cycle is over because they want to pump it. That's what David Bailey's saying. Every sovereign bank, insurer, corporate pension will own more Bitcoin. The process has already begun in earnest, yet we haven't even captured 0.1% of the TAM, the total assets under management. We're going so much higher. Dream big. This is the president's crypto advisor, David Bailey, saying this. You've got this very bullish thing going on. It's very bullish language, very bullish times. This is what happens at that frothiest moment, that big blow off top portion of a bull cycle. People say up, only up forever, up for many years, many years. Bitcoin's going 100K this year. Then it only went to 69. Bitcoin's going to 500K this year. Then it's only going to go to 200, 300. You know, this happens over and over again. Now, perhaps we aren't going to have some kind of Bitcoin bear market. But I think the odds are is that we will have some kind of Bitcoin bear market. Now, maybe we come down 25, 35%, and you're like, well, technically that wasn't a bear market as we've seen it before. I'm David Bailey, and that 40% crash for Bitcoin was nothing compared to the 80% crash that we've seen in the other cycles. And so therefore, I'm right? I mean, like, that's kind of the road I see this all going down. It's just the way I'm looking at these things, guys. Nothing goes straight up. I'm so bullish on crypto, but do remember that there's volatility at play day in and day out in the crypto space. If you want to take advantage of the volatility, you can do it. Case in point, looking at the liquidations over the last 24 hours. People that were shorting ETH at the highs, like I did recently, shorting this very obvious level of resistance, they stood to make the most money, as we saw yesterday, $500 million wiped out from the longs, and then today another 500. It's $1 billion in 2 days wiped out from the long side because greed is coming into the picture. Why is greed coming into the picture? Because you see stories like this of David Bailey saying there's never going to be another Bitcoin bear market. Boom. Longs get wiped out. That came out at 2 a.m. We had that Bitcoin dip right after David Bailey said that. Right after he said that. So what does this mean? This means there's games going on, guys. There's always games going on in the crypto space. And it's always going to be that way, okay? And it's going to get less volatile over time. It's going to go up less. It's going to go down less. But it will go up over time. Will there not be another bear market? No, there's always going to be another bear market. It's just what that looks like is going to change over time. I don't necessarily agree with David Bailey here, but as I said, there's a lot of opportunities for trading in this market. The shorters had it in the last 2 days. Shout out in the chat if you guys have made any good plays on that. If you guys want to do some trading, you guys want to sign up for some exchanges, if you haven't dabbled with it at all, you can check out Blowfin. You can check out Bit10X in the comments down below. Do your own research, my friends, guys. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not here to give you financial advice. I'm trading these markets. You don't have to. But if you want to, I've got some affiliates in the description down below. You can even do demo trading where you're just trading with fake money to kind of learn how it all works. So there's a lot of different ways to go about it. Shout out to Kevin Hawthorne. How's it going? Let's see here. What else is going on? Yeah, I think that. Ooh, there's Cubs Future says ETH is going up by the dip. Yeah, it's dipping. I think ETH could come down to 4K. I think ETH could come down to 4K. ETH is dumping hard right now. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all because ETH is facing a very obvious level of resistance. Now, could this turn around and go the other way? Well, case in point, look at what happened last week. We almost came down to 4,000, didn't, came up, retest, actually took a new high, and then closed short of it. And boom, now we're collapsing just into oblivion right now. But again, I don't think it's the end of the bull market. We got Fed rate cuts coming. We got a lot of things. Let's get into some of the other news, guys. Welcome back to the Crypto Report. I'm Crypto Kip. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Here's Bitcoin right now, down 11% in 11 days. I recorded a short just a little bit ago that's coming out later tonight talking about this. Just giving updates for all those people scrolling on their feeds, looking for short form content. We got that for you guys too. Subscribe to the channel if you want some of that. And subscribe to the channel if you want these live streams and the regular videos that we put out every day. Bitcoin came down to a level that I talked about, 110K. I told you guys about 110K for a while. Obviously, this is kind of where we had resistance. This is kind of where we had a bounce there. 111 has been a significant level. 112 has been a level. We bounced at 112. We bounced down to 111. Now we tested 110. If we lose 110, we could easily see ourselves coming back down. Honestly, guys, I wouldn't be surprised to see us touch 100K again. I wouldn't be surprised to see us touch 100K again for Bitcoin just on some kind of September dump. It takes everybody by surprise. That's when Bitcoin dominance would rally, and then Bitcoin dominance would fizzle out again. Ethereum could take the highs officially, formally, properly after finding a level of support, bouncing, finding a bullish retest, and moving to the upside. I'm not going to be surprised if September is a red month. I think August could easily end green. Actually, looking at what do we have going on right now for August? Bitcoin percentage returns. August is a red month. August might end red. It might end red. August might end red. I wouldn't be surprised if we had September red as well. Now, historically speaking, we have actually never had in a bull market, I don't think we've ever had a red August and a red September. So that's a little bit concerning. But maybe, and here's the other thought is maybe, I'm sorry, give me 1 second, guys. I got to check something out very quickly. Give me 1 sec. Okay. I got a lot of spam callers calling me lately. I had to check something out. Yeah, we've never had a red August and a red September back to back in a bull market. But, you know, as I look at these things, I always take it with a grain of salt. What we might have is maybe we'll have a red August and then a green September. Maybe we'll dip leading up to the FOMC meeting in September. And then when the news actually comes out, we'll pump. I don't know. There's a lot of different ways this could play out, but I do believe if you did not see crypto green in October, that would be an extremely shocking event. That would be an extremely shocking event. I would be very surprised by that. Okay, so other news. Let's get after it, guys. Let's get after it. Smash a like, subscribe to the channel. Marty, so what you're saying is we want to wreck August? I don't know. I mean, I just want a healthy retracement and a bullish retest. Regardless of how it plays out, I just want healthy price action. And this is all normal. Look at this. Fear and greed index exactly neutral. Everybody's confused. Like, why are we blowing up? Fed rate cuts are coming. And they are, guys. This is something we talk about over and over and over again. Fed rate cuts are coming. There's an 84% chance that it's coming in September. There's a really good chance that we even get 2 rate cuts potentially in October. And to December, we might even see 3 rate cuts. There's a 30% chance of that. So these are all some things to keep in mind. We are going to get some rate cuts is what it looks like. And that is a very bullish thing, but there is volatility. Bitcoin OG whales to blame for Bitcoin's painful rise, Willie Woo says. Bitcoin suddenly dropped over 2% on under 10 minutes on Sunday, with crypto investors on X pointing the actions of one very large Bitcoin holder. It's easy to make a one whale a scapegoat, but the reality is it doesn't really work like that. I don't care what anybody says. I don't really care what anybody says. Willie Woo is making a point that OG Bitcoin whales are selling. Of course they are. They've got billions of dollars by now, if not multi-millions. Of course they're going to shuffle some profits. So Willie Woo blaming some of the whales in general who are, taking profit. Yeah, of course that's going to be happening. There will be profit rotated out of these markets, no doubt about it. But there was one whale in particular that was getting blamed. This whale is understood to have rotated more than $2 billion worth of Bitcoin into Ethereum over last week, triggering a cascade of sell orders across the market. But then if you triggered it into Ethereum, how's Ethereum week? Did he sell that Ethereum then this week? Is he just playing games? There's whale games that happen all the time. All this is possible. But many people on X pointed to the crypto whale that began transferring this Bitcoin. So they're just blaming one guy. They're blaming one guy. The whale's profitable trading strategy contributed to the crash. The whale also longed 135,000 Ethereum on Hyperliquid for total exposure of 551,000 ETH, worth over 2.6 billion. He longed it, strategically positioning the trades to front run from fast-moving participants. And then what? He got liquidated. So he got liquidated, I guess. And so he's part of the long squeeze. These whales are just wasting their money, getting greedy. They've already got millions of dollars. There's volatility in these markets, guys. Whales trade. Normies trade like me and you. Bunch of normies. Me and you. Bunch of crypto reporters. But yeah, everybody's talking about this. That's why my title says Bitcoin flash crash. It's not really even a flash crash. Like a flash crash, you'll know a flash crash when you see it. A flash crash would be like Bitcoin dipped to 80K overnight and it's back to 95. That would be like a flash. Like from here to, like that would be a flash crash. But everybody's blaming this whale. Everybody's talking in hyperbole, doomsday, flash crash. I'm just saying, hey, Ethereum's pulling back to start the week after hitting a fresh record near 5,000. Now, that makes sense to me. That's a normal headline. Of course, Ethereum's pulling back after hitting a fresh record. It's going to have a little pullback after it finds resistance, which is the previous high. We broke a little bit through finding resistance. It's a little more normal. Now, in this article, again, very bullish conversation. Rate cuts are coming. Fed Chair Jerome Powell hinted at rate cuts. That was huge. It was huge. There was a lot of liquidations. There's so many regulatory tailwinds that are bullish for, all these good. There are a lot of bullish facts right now. But there are also facts that when we take fresh highs, there are pullbacks. And this is very, very, very normal. So this whole idea of David Bailey coming out and saying there's not going to be a bear market for several years doesn't really jive with me. If we kind of go into 26 and 27, because it's a pro Bitcoin administration, and the president keeps somehow finding more ways to incentivize banks, insurers, corporate company, pensions to accumulate more Bitcoin, and the whales are buying like crazy. Maybe we do and just go into some broader Bitcoin extended run, but I don't think that that's anything really for altcoins at that point. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to watch. There are things changing. David Bailey has a point. Here's an example. Japan's finance minister says crypto assets could be part of diversified investments. So Japan talking more and more about crypto. Everybody's talking more and more about crypto right now. Countries, governments, businesses, you name it. And there's one man that's company owns 3% of the supply of Bitcoin. Michael Saylor's company bought another $3,000 worth of Bitcoin for $357 million. So while those whales are playing whale games, there's a new whale growing. It's Michael Saylor's MicroStrategy. They could run the world. It's going to be absolutely unbelievable to see what their holdings become in terms of value one day. Owning 3% of all the Bitcoin in the world is crazy. It's an accomplishment. It's just absolutely incredible. Some of the bigger news for the day that I wanted to share with you guys, not totally has anything to do with crypto, but I thought it was interesting. Well, a few things. One, the president just is talking about this new deal with Intel, where we just became a majority stakeholder for the company Intel. Not me and you, our country. The United States government is taking over businesses, just like China now, I guess. This is crazy. I don't really know what this means for other competitors. It doesn't seem like a very good thing. Some people are saying, well, he's playing favorites with Intel. Well, maybe he wants to get into some of these other businesses as well. Why is it Intel? What's going on with Intel where we became a part of Intel? Like our government now owns majority of Intel. It's very weird. It's very weird. I mean, you do see this happening in other places in the globe. It's just something to keep an eye on. I don't really know how to translate this over to crypto. It doesn't have a ton with crypto, but as I was looking at crypto news, this kind of popped up for me. I just thought it was very interesting. And the U.S. government is now thinking about buying more businesses, taking ownership in more big businesses as a part of a international U.S. strength strategy. I think it's kind of trying to mirror what China's doing, to be honest with you. But, in this democracy, in this free trade capitalist society that is the USA, is this real? Is this good? Is this scary? I think it's scary, to be honest with you. I think it's kind of scary. Crypto news. This does have to do with crypto. Attacks on Feds. Cook should be chilling for Americans, says Summers. I don't know who Summers is, but there is a debate going on right now over this Governor Lisa Cook. Okay. So we should all be chilling. We should all have chills. Not feel good about it is what this article is reading. Recently, former Treasury Secretary Larry Summers said that the political pressures and personal attacks targeting Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook are unprecedented, which is a very political word. They love that word. And it should alarm anyone concerned about the independence of U.S. institutions. Now, what's going on is Lisa Cook is being accused of mortgage fraud. All right. And this guy, the former Treasury Secretary, is defending her. I don't know why. But the president is calling for her immediate resignation, and I'll fire her if she doesn't resign. Again, I don't think he can fire her, just like the president can't fire Fed Chair Powell. Why is this important for crypto? Because it has everything to do with rate cuts. The president has gotten to replace one of the board of governor people already, and that was somebody who is anti-rate cuts. Now there's another one who's anti-rate cuts that he wants to step down because the president wants rate cuts. Rate cuts are coming. The president is making sure of it. Even if he legally cannot do the moves he wants to do, he is putting on pressure, and there's a debate going on. I'm curious what you guys think about this. Is this bad? Is this good? I think if you have a board governor that if there is a Fed if the one of the people in charge of all the money in the world, basically, are the U.S. Let's frame that properly. If there's somebody that works for the U.S. government or within the U.S. government, which is very confusing because, again, the Fed is both a private and a public entity. They work for us, but they don't. They're their own private entity, but they're actually public, but it's very confusing. If this Fed governor, Lisa Cook, really committed mortgage fraud, well, she shouldn't have gotten the job in the first place. And if she did get the job, then she probably shouldn't have the job. I kind of do agree with that. But at the same time, it's not good to have these political pressures going on. However, if this is a real story and you've got like literally a criminal running our monetary system in the US, I don't think that that's good to have that person in power. Clearly, they have bad judgment, or they made a grave error and they're irresponsible. All that being said, Lisa Cook will probably step down. She will probably resign. That news will probably come soon. She will probably not get punished for her crimes, as the rich and powerful tend to not get punished for some reason if they do break rules. And then once she resigns and doesn't get any punishment, we'll get a pro rate cut person in there, a pro do whatever the president wants to pump the economy and pump crypto, replacement in office, and that'll be a bullish event. So it's interesting. It's interesting. I think it's interesting. Just as interesting as the fact that the U.S. can take stakes in more companies, which is kind of concerning, I think, actually. But yes, Ethereum is having a great time. We're getting a little bit of a dip right now after everybody's praising all the awesomeness that happens for Ethereum this month. We're having a little bit of a dip. From the time that was posted, by the way. Has it changed? No, it's still up there. Still looking really good. August, still up 24% in August, despite this big dip. Unbelievable. John 3:16 says 3x and I'm a millionaire. My guy. Nice work, brother. Pepe says Crow doing a 3x on these are all coins. Oh, you guys are having a debate over 15x's and 10x's, and we all like x's, guys. We got some x's coming up if we get that altcoin season. I like Crow. I like Pepe. Can't we all just get along? Do your own research, my friends. I'll never tell you what to buy, when to buy it. I'll never tell you to buy anything. I'm just going to report the crypto news. And you keep doing your own research, my friends. And if you want to be entertained and amused and talk about some of the news and get an opinion from a bald guy on the internet about crypto, well, you're in the right place. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Here's Bitcoin back down to 110 right now. We're crashing, guys. We are crashing right now. This is a big dip. I'm going to take a seat. Let's do a little Q&A. I'm going to take a seat. I'm a little bit tired. How's our total market cap doing? Yeah, there you go. Look at this. It's like you draw a level of support and then you touch it a bunch perfectly. Isn't that incredible? I drew this level of support out back here, I think. Maybe even before that. Isn't this just the previous high? It's close to it. Is that a previous high? Total market cap. Where could total market cap come down to? Let's do some Q&A and look at these charts a little bit more. I'm looking at the chat right now. Let me change the tunes and boost up the tones. Justin Evans says, "Oh my gosh, market's to zero." Just origin token in the chat. Is that a real token? I don't want to talk about it. Pepe, Pepe is the biggest meme coin out there, next to Doge and Sheep, and I think it's gonna flip Sheep. Who knows though? QBA in the chat rooting for Ciara. How's Ciara doing? Finding that level of resistance right now at 16 cents. Yesterday I did a video on Crow, I think, for you guys, and what we got to look out for is that level of resistance at 16 cents. Dang nabbit. But that pesky Ethereum found it high. Little resistance up there. All right. What else is going on in the chat? I did not lock up any of the CRO tokens. No, I don't like the lockups. I'm looking through the chat right now. There's a 20% for 12 months in car. Yeah, I don't like doing those 20% lockups for 12 months. I mean, I'm a believer that the bear market will come. So, I don't want to lock up my Crow knowing that there's going to be a bear market. I'm looking to take profit. That's what you do, especially in altcoins. That's what the winners do. XRP coming back down to my level here. If XRP loses this level, it could come back down to $2 easily. Let's play nice in the chat, Pepe. Let's play nice in the chat. I love John 3:16. You guys. Come on. All right, I'll tell you guys what I did last night. Well, I'm waiting for other questions to come in. So Rostinov says, "You think the bear market will be before 12 months?" I do. I mean, I think that yeah. I'll tell you why real quick for those of you guys that haven't met me. Look, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not giving you financial advice. I'm not telling you you're wrong. If you did the lockup, I'm not telling you I'm not telling you you're gonna be a loser. I'm not telling you you're gonna be a winner. I'm not telling you nothing. All I'm telling you is what the charts have done for Bitcoin in a secular fashion, a market cycle fashion, from the lows to the highs. You got 1,071 days for a bull market. That was last cycle. And if you go back one more from this wick to this wick is 1,064 days. Call it 1,070 days, okay? If I go to the top of that red wick, 1,070 days. That's how long a bull market lasts. How long have we been in this one? We've been in this one for 1,000. This will be at the end of this week, 15 days, which tells us we've got maybe 60 days left of this bull market. 60 days is not 1 year. 60 days is not 12 months. I think we will be in a very big descent, just like this. We'll probably be this far down in 12 months. Probably retesting and breaking back down below like 50. Back through $70,000, dipping to $42,000 for a low. I don't know. I mean, yes, I think that, Bitcoin could dip that low again. I think it could. And everybody's always going to have a bunch of excuses for why. It's just because that's what happens. What's up, Juan? There is some blood on the streets today, brother. Bitcoin facing resistance. It doesn't look too good, but I'll tell you, it also could be great. Think about how scary this moment might have been, or perhaps this one. A lot of red cascading over, but again, I do not think this is the end of this thing. I would be shocked. What would you rate Crow's performance so far for this cycle? I would give it a D. But I would give altcoins a D. Altcoins have been rough. Random memes that meant nothing or everything for a 10-second stretch of time. That's what popped. Solana is an A++. And now it's like a C. That's just how this market's been. Ethereum's been like a solid C+. Bitcoin's been an A for Bitcoin. Bitcoin's been doing great. Pepe did fantastic. It was amazing. It was one of those glorious coins. Bonk and Solana and XRP had a really nice run. But Crow has not had anything to write home about yet. BNB hasn't gone up a lot in the cycle, but BNB held its value in the bear market very well last time. All right, guys, that is all I have for you in this one. I got some more work to do. Thanks for tuning in to the Crypto Report. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, guys. I am bullish on crypto. I do believe that this dip is very normal. I am not panicking today. I wouldn't be surprised to see Bitcoin break below $110,000. Heck, it could even revisit 99K or lower. I'm open to it. I'm ready for it. I do have some cash on the sidelines. I am ready to buy that dip if the opportunity presents itself. Always staying on my toes here. I'm liking the trading of the volatility in these markets. If you guys want to trade as well, you can sign up for Blowfin or Bit2Next using the links in the description down below. Some sign-up bonuses there to take advantage of if you haven't done so already. There is volatility. I'm trading it. Check it out if you guys want to do it as well. Please remember, I am not a financial advisor. Nothing here's financial advice. I love crypto. We'll keep the content coming. Until next time, guys, smash the like, subscribe, DCA HODL. Peace, y'all.